Kaspa dropped over 80% from its all-time high, and the same holders who called it the next Bitcoin are now asking a much darker question.
Is Kaspa actually dying?
Today, we're pulling up the charts, the hash rate, the on-chain data, and we're going to answer this the most honest way we can. This is not financial advice, always do your own research. Let's start with the chart, guys, because that's what triggered this question in the first place. Remember, Kaspa is currently trading around 2.5 cents. In our previous video about Kaspa, the price was about 4 cents and it was sitting at support level. But now that level is broken and in fact tested as resistance. We mentioned then that if we broke that support, the next support level is 1.4 cents. Well, given that today the price is still in a downtrend, it is most likely going to drop to the next support level. But locally at 2.5 cents, we are seeing some support formation. This is the point of control level, the price where the most volume has traded in that range, and this level has been rejected once already. But if we lose this 2.6 cents, the next real support is all the way down at 1.4 cents. That's nearly a 50% drop from here, and there's very little structure between those two levels to slow the fall. Now, a lot of people like to compare Kaspa to Bitcoin, or even claim it's a better version of Bitcoin. Well, instead of comparing the two charts in dollars, which doesn't tell us much, let's compare Kaspa directly against Bitcoin. And the picture is not great. The truth is that since November 2023, Kaspa has been consistently underperforming Bitcoin. The chart has been in a persistent downtrend, meaning that even if you believed in Kaspa's long-term potential, simply holding Bitcoin would have produced better returns over that period. But relative price performance only tells us how the market is valuing the asset. It doesn't tell us whether the network itself is actually dying or whether the users have simply fallen out of love with it. To answer that, we need to look beyond the chart and look into the on-chain data, because that's where the dead coin narrative either holds up or completely falls apart. First, the mining difficulty. This is one of the most important metrics for any proof-of-work network, but it's also one of the most misunderstood in Kaspa's case particularly. When you open the chart, you can see a harsh drop by more than 10x, and people claiming miners abandoned the chain. But that's simply not what happened, guys. In May 2025, Kaspa's crescendo hard fork increased block production from 1 block per second to 10 blocks per second. As part of that upgrade, mining difficulty was mechanically divided by 10 to account for the faster block rate. It is not a collapse in network security. Now, the number that actually tells us where the miners are leaving is the hash rate. Kaspa's hash rate peaked at around 1.47 exahashes per second in 2024. Today, it has fallen to around 330 petahashes per second, that is. That represents a decline of roughly 75 to 80% from the peak, and that is something worth paying attention to actually. It suggests that mining profitability has come under significant pressure, with some miners either shutting down less efficient machines or moving their capital elsewhere, understandably. That's not something I would ignore, to be honest. But declining hash rate alone doesn't mean a network is dying. In every proof-of-work system, miners follow profitability, and that's understandable, guys. But another key question is whether users are leaving too. Right now, the answer appears to be no. Daily active addresses have remained relatively stable throughout 2026. Transaction count was at around 10k per day, and in the last days, we can see a spike to 19k active addresses. If the network were genuinely dying, you would expect those metrics to fall alongside the hash rate. So far, they have not. Guys, if you think this distinction between price performance and network health that I'm talking about here is useful, then please hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people looking for analysis rather than empty narratives. And if you want to help me and my team continue making these breakdowns that you find useful and helpful, and you want to follow us, then go on and subscribe to the airdrops.com channel now. Okay, here's another interesting metric that I want to tell you about. That's the whale wallet. Addresses holding 10 million or more KAS have gradually declined to their lowest levels on record. At first glance, that looks bearish, I understand. But the decline has been slow and steady rather than coinciding with a sharp price sell-off. that's usually a sign of whales splitting holdings across multiple wallets rather than panic selling. I admit it's not a bullish signal, but it's not conclusive evidence of large-scale selling either. Developer activity also tells a different story from the price chart, and here's a bit on that. The Crescendo upgrade shipped successfully, and in June, the Toccata hard fork introduced smart contracts and covenant functionality. Whether those features drive adoption remains to be seen, but let's be honest, dead projects rarely continue delivering major protocol upgrades. So where does that leave us? Based on the on-chain data, I don't think Kaspa is a dead network. User activity remains healthy, development is still moving forward, and the ecosystem is continuing to evolve. But a healthy network doesn't automatically make a good investment, and you know it. From a price perspective, we're still sitting right around that 2.6 cent support and point of control I mentioned earlier. Now, I really want to see buyers defend this level, then followed by a reclaim of the 20 and 50-week moving averages, and ultimately, those levels flipping into support. Until that happens, the trend is still bearish. We're still printing lower highs, and if this support fails, a move toward 1.4 cents remains a realistic possibility. So, my conclusion is simple. Kaspa doesn't look dead to me. It looks like a fundamentally active network that's still searching for a technical bottom. It's true that the fundamentals keep it on my watch list, but the chart tells me to stay patient. Now, I want to hear your view. Is Kaspa's current price weakness a long-term opportunity, or is the market telling us something more serious that I may be missing? Leave your take in the comments, and if you want more honest crypto analysis such as this one, focused on both fundamentals and price action, then like this video and subscribe to the airdrops.com channel. With that, my name is Stan, and I wish you a great day. I'll see you in the next time. Ciao.